Journal entry, 13th of the month of July, in the year of our Lord 1069. The first time I saw the image of a knight in his armor was when I began my studies at my master's residence. It has struck with me since, and as I was of unknown birth, having been abandoned as an infant at the convent, I dreamt, as all boys are wont to, of my own secret lineage. I created my house, named after the town I had spent my life thus far, as de Villeron, in the region of Beauvais. A boy's fancy, you might say, a mere phantasm, to be forgotten as years went by, yet, as I near my 20th year of age, once again the Lord has shown his miraculous light on my journey. For as we had made our way across the Franconian countryside and entered the Duchy of Angria, we came to rest at the city of Warendorf. There, among the merchants of trinkets and baubles, the tailors and smiths, I found said miracle, an armor made of scale, shining silver in the dim light of the candles, and inscribed on a fastener its origin, the town of Villeron. How it made its way over here, nobody could guess, but my faith is adamant that this was put here by the mysterious ways of the Lord for me to find this treasure. I shall wear it with pride, and I have renewed confidence that I am on the path towards redemption and righteousness. With Takulf von Nassau, a second Franconian has entered our little group, and he is a relatively effective knight, so he should be getting along just fine with the others, with Richard and Gerhard. But we do have an opening now for the position of head porter. And as it turns out, Thierry, with his organizational and martial skill, is actually relatively good for the position. So that will reduce our provision loss when traveling by 16%, which is great. So let's get Thierry in his new position established. We do have a few contracts available, but it's nothing really great. We do have the opportunity for spycraft, which is really not in our forte. We can do diplomacy, which I am all right at, but it's really not something. Or we could once again try to protect the innocent, which is going to take a very long time, and we're just not feeling up for it after the disaster in France yet. We still have to improve ourselves. So since we don't get anything further in Waldeck, we might actually move the camp. Might try to move the camp forward and return to Klingenberg, to the capital of the Holy Roman Empire. There are a few interesting cities around, as Gerhard has notified us. Specifically, the town of Goslar, which is known for its mining. So that might actually be interesting as a target as well, just to pick up the local knowledge there. So let's head over to Goslar, and we will be starting to move our camp there, and see what we can learn. Right now it's a beautiful summer in northern Germany, so no trouble with winter or snow. But we do have to head up into the mountains in Goslar. Which is and the Rammelsberg mining settlement, where we have learned a bit about stewardship overall. We can make a request with Mayor Eckbert, but it's not an awful lot, and he would lose quite the opinion of us if we made requests of him. So we will not really do that. However, we can visit the local castle and have a quick look at the training grounds. We don't have the coin for another training session, so we will just be sparring with Gerhard for now, which has been inefficient once again. And we'll have a look at the local tavern, but nothing really new there. We don't really have the coin either to recruit anybody else, so let's see if we can pick up some more supplies. Not really. And we've got transport contracts and diplomacy. Yeah, I think transport contracts would be something that we'd be keen on, because we are looking to travel the world. So let's get that underway. And that allows us to see both Count Egbert and Count Ludwig are asking to escort an emissary. So let's have a quick look and see where these are going. Count Egbert von Halberstadt comes into my tent, and he needs us to escort his personal physician, Gertrude, to Roskilde. That should be up in Denmark somewhere, or it is Denmark at this point, yes. So she shall travel with us swiftly and safely, and we will be escorting her to Denmark, to King Svend, and then return to northern Germany from there. That journey leads us through a fair few. We can pick up some martial lifestyle there as well. It leads us through a few dangerous spots. The forests of Neumünster are somewhat renowned. We have already, I think. We'll pass by the Danish border, and we shall see how this ends up. But no major threats. We do have a relatively good speed going. We don't need to recruit anybody at this point, so I think we're all set. And Kalonimos is leading the caravan as usual. We should be arriving by September, which means we should be able to make our way back before the end of the year, and then pick up the second contract if necessary. And off we wander to escort the personal physician to Denmark. Passing into Denmark, we are in the land of milk and fish. Richard is suggesting that we do go and do some fishing. That might actually not be a terrible idea. We could do 10 days and get 250 provisions out of this, or 3 days to get 93. I think, we could make do with some provisions. 10 days is not too long, so we shall have a rest, do some fishing in Denmark, and then proceed to Sjælland, to the home of King Svend II, and to complete our contract there. There are some possibilities over in the east as well. We have gained 150 martial, and I am brought before King Svend himself. This time around, I am actually looking the part. You have come at my acquaintance Count Egbert's behest. On what business? Gertrude steps forward. She speaks for Count Egbert of Halberstadt. So we should be returning, and that has been an exceptional success, which means we can probably ask Count Egbert for some payment, yes. But he doesn't have quite the funds in his treasury yet, so we will hold off on that, since we're returning south anyway. And we are passing by a runestone. The countryside of Abenra is known to be littered with runestones, towering monoliths etched with written records of events, both legendary and historical. In our travels, we encounter a particularly grandiose runestone adorned with complex pattern and what is no doubt a legend written in a language I cannot understand. Perhaps with the time and patience I could decipher the meaning. I could give it a try, or we could just ignore it. No, we shall try, because I am already learning. I'm already talking to Gerhard, so I might as well at some point actually try picking up his language as well. All right, we could gain 300 lifestyle experience on learning. Let's see. Or we spend... Nope, we have failed. After looking at it, we have not been able to decipher it. There is a bit of a battle going on, actually, that we might be passing through. The first army of Minden is besieging the castle in Braunschweig, so we are moving off. Gerhard has been swayed, so we're probably good on that regard. Is there anybody else we need to really get to know better? I think we can do something else, and we can try to learn the language. Whose language should we learn? I think it might actually be interested. I mean, it might be interesting to learn the Franconian language, but then again, we are relatively close together. I could also ask Kalonymus to teach him to teach me his tongue. The rest of us is mostly French, which I speak anyway. So we might. That's actually relatively hard. So in that case, we might just ask Gerhard to learn. Yeah, that's High German language is much easier. We shall be learning that. It'll take 2 years, but we may as well. And then that'll give us a bit better opportunity to commune with our friends in the group. And we have returned safely. So Count Egbert, we hold off on demanding a payment for now, but we have made quite some coin. So let's have a look at our camp. Right now we've got the barber's tent and the baggage train. But what can be upgraded would be the interesting question, or do we go for the pavilion? There are a fair few things we can do that are quite actually interesting. We could go for the proficient truckers, which is further reducing the amount of provisions used by a fair amount. Or I was kind of thinking of the bartering grounds, which would increase stewardship contracts and stewardship lifestyle experience. But we're not going to stay on stewardship for an awful lot longer. I think 2 more years overall. So we might not really need that. I'm actually kind of more interested to use the proficient trackers at this point. We might pick up the other one at some point, but. And the able porters might actually be quite nice as well, because that actually increases our knight effectiveness. This is all for future use, pretty much. That's for... yeah, I'm not sure we're getting an awful lot of value out of the bartering grounds. It's very expensive. So, and other than that, in the barber's tent, I think there wasn't an awful lot that we need right now. Sergeant's tools is too expensive still. We're definitely not starting to torture people, and the mortician's tools we cannot construct because we are not mercenaries at this point. So alternatively, we could try to upgrade the pavilion, but we don't have enough money for that either. Or we could go for another lesson. So since the let's see what that looks like before we do that. So if we head over to the castle now that we have returned at Goslar, and that would still only increase my prowess, but I am looking for a specific skill. Maybe he is not the right maybe he's not the right person to teach us that. So let's hold back on that. And have a listen to a story. Let's see if we can learn something about intrigue from Hartwig. Nope, just exotic intrigue. Okay. And that we're done here because we have more contracts available to us. There's another Protect the Innocent. There is a Fight Corruption contract. I think that's a that might be a Justicar contract, because we have okay, martial or prowess contracts. That should be one of either of them. That okay, it doesn't actually say what it is, but it doesn't pay an awful lot. So we might be better off just taking yet another contract to escort an emissary. Let's see where these are going. Both contracts would enable us to, or would ask us to move to Italy. That is a fair distance away. I doubt that we actually have enough supplies in the camp to make that trip safely. As much as it would be interesting to, make our way to Rome, I would have to just move the whole camp, and I am not sure we have enough supplies for that. So we might have to stop somewhere on the way. Alternatively, we could move north and help fight corruption. But I think, given that we are Catholic, this is actually a good opportunity to make our way towards the holy city, and to see, or to maybe to gain a glimpse to gain a glimpse of the Pope in Rome. So that will be actually a very, very tempting prospect. In the end, I have decided to take the journey and to bring our guest to Rome. I shall be gathering provisions in order for preparation, because what we have in our stores might not last us all the way. So let's see what we can do. We can look for something to eat, or we can use some snares. We don't have a huntsman, so we can't trap anything. Let's see what we can find. We bring much food, so ideally, yeah, we should have now enough. We should have the Countess Cecilia of Orlamünde is a guest of our camp, so we shall move. We shall move to Rome and to deliver her safely on that lengthy journey. But there are probably a few adjustments we can make. So let's customize that route a little bit, because there are a fair few dangers on the way. All right, with the help of my Franconian friends, we have determined that we should stop at the memorial for the Battle of Lechfeld in Augsburg. And with Kalonymos, we have found a route across the mountains with the maps that we have available. We've purchased some gear to get across the mountains safely. And then we shall make our way all the way to Rome. And from there, we shall explore the land around the Holy Papal area. So we shall begin our very lengthy journey. It is the 6th of December, so we are traveling in winter. But that also means we're probably not going to be able to have any contact with Count Egbert anymore. So we'll take what money he has available and I'll bring that along now. And there is no more gold to be had, really. We could ask for a few more provisions, maybe, but let's see if we could do that. Yeah, we'll ask our acquaintance Count Egbert of Halberstadt for additional provisions. I think that is not too much to ask, and despite the fact that he is slightly irritated by this, we have now fully stocked our provisions. We've made some coin in the meantime, and that means we can actually probably also, while we're at it, build the proficient trackers. Yeah, let's construct that while we're at it. That'll reduce the. It's going to take 8 months, but the next time we have for a long journey, it'll reduce the overall amount of supplies that we are using, simply by sending some people out to forage while we're at it. The day on the road has been fairly calm and nondescript so far. We are somewhere outside of Iphofen, and I close my eyes as my mount brings me forward, one solid step at a time, traveling across the German winter landscape. Very pretty there. As the wind plays a magnificent melody through the treetops, another noise is carried by the breeze, and not from our entourage. Is that quacking? I isolate the sound to be coming from a shrubbery on my right-hand side. So there might be a duck. We can either gain a duck quack, we can follow the duck, or we call foul on the fowl and move away. I am intrigued at this point where this leads us. So despite my better judgment, my stubbornness and curiosity is taking the best of me, and I shall be following the duck. I dismount and locate the duck in the nearby shrubbery. It starts waddling off into the wilderness, and I follow by foot. As I stray further and further away from my entourage, a chill creeps down my spine. Is something watching me? Suddenly a boar shows up at the edge of the underwood. It snorts and looks at me with angry eyes. I can run away from the boar, or I can fight it. If I run away, I get 1 prowess, but also 20 stress because I am brave. If I fight it, I could gain 150 prestige, but there's also a fair amount of chance that I get wounded or that I die. I think I honestly take the prowess. There's nobody around to see me anyway, and there's only a 3% chance that the boar is actually going to kill me. So we will run very fast and we'll deal with the stress as it goes. Okay, for 10 years we have run away, bravely run away. He bravely run away, brave Sir Bernard. Okay, we passed by the Battle of Lechfeld, and we learned from the Battle of Augsburg, and we've gained the open terrain expert train. So we've stopped with Gerhard, inspected everything, and we did get the open terrain expert, which is nice. That gives us a battle advantage in the future, and increasing amounts of battle advantage as we go and as we gain more proficiency in that. All right, nice. Good to have, good to pass by on that, and making our way towards the mountains now. In winter, it is getting rather chilly, so the climb above the mountains, but it's starting to turn March by the time we make our way through Innsbruck, and the weather is picking up, and we have already reached the other side of the Alps in Trent. But obviously now Kalonymus, who does not speak the local language, and neither do I, is having some troubles. But since I am already studying language, let me try. And yes, we interpret the instructions and we speed up our trip towards Roma. And then we make a way down the foothills into the northern Italian lands in Padua, and we are crossing into Ravenna, and then through the Duchy of Tuscany until we finally make our way into the Papal realm. The high altitude and the brisk air of Urbino has a very refreshing quality as we traverse the local hill fort. The soldiers in the valley below appear to be practicing some rare type of training technique I haven't seen before. I move in closer, failing to restrain my curiosity. While doing so, I'm approached by the local captain, Albano. Would you like to join in, my lord? I am up for the challenge. I could gain... I have an 80% chance to gain rough terrain expert. Wait, which one did I pick up just now? Oh, this open terrain expert. Okay, so another possible. Or I could pick up the reckless path. We could do that for Kalonymus, or we could just move on. No, I think we'll take the challenge here. And for 5 coin, we shall see if we can get the rough terrain expert. Yes, we did. So that training has paid off, and we are making our way further through Tuscany and into the Holy Papal region. And there are contract available, but that's about it. And we have visited the Grand Cathedral in Rome, gained some piety and some learning again. And our traveling trade is actually coming a fair amount of ways now at this point. We are wanderer, so we're actually increasing our travel speed, and diplomacy and learning has been improved as well. Who said traveling is educational? So we have met the Pope, Pope Alexander, and delivered Countess Cecilia safely. So with that exceptional success, we head back to our camp. And we're too far away to actually ask for payment. So next time we make our way north into the Germanic lands, then Franconian lands in the Holy Roman Empire, then we can have a further look. But now that we're here, let's visit the castle holdings and have a look at the Rome castle and see what's on the training grounds. Still not getting anywhere with the potential Blade Master trade that I'm looking for. So we could, but I might just try another. I might have to just keep trying and take another training lesson and see if we can improve our skills in that matter. Alternatively, we've got 180 gold in the camp. We'll have another go. So we will have a training lesson with the Gentile di Latreto, and prowess increased by 1. Let's listen to what Lazaro has to tell us about intrigue. And exotic intrigue it is. And then we'll have a very quick look at supplies. Let's see if we can haggle with Adelmo and see if we can get some supplies out of him. That has been successful. And then we will see how the contract's looking. And actually there are a few things that we can do here, so we don't actually have to bother the town crier at this point. Well, we have reached Roma, and it's been a long journey indeed. So we've got a couple boundary disputes that need settling, and then we will see. We will explore probably a bit the southern countryside here. Not that we've made it to the Mediterranean, and see what we can learn about righteousness, knighthood, and all those things.